Episode 15 of Dr. Slump progressed beautifully, and they kind of showed you the journey of Jungwoo trying to propose to Hanul. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another review on the Review Garden. Episode 15 starts with Young trying to propose, figuring out how he should propose to her. Should he propose to her, in the hospital? And that's when he happened to drop the ring under the couch. And then the cockroaches came out. And this man pushed her out of the way, right? So that he can get away from the two cockroaches. And then he ended up, protecting her after after the fact, right? But it was cute nonetheless, right? So with that happening, he ended up meeting Hanel's brother and uncle, and they told him that, oh, he can't propose with a ring that's been with cockroaches. So like he goes and he said like, oh, he got her a bracelet, and he's like, Bada's like, she doesn't like bracelets, especially for surgery. So then he goes again to buy her, you know, a necklace, and I think that was also when Dae Young was like, you can't be proposing to her yet because she just started with her career again. You're gonna put a roadblock on it, blah blah blah. So he has like in his all these people like talking to him, telling him this and this and that. So he ended up buying her a bracelet. Well, he bought her the ring first, then a bracelet, then a necklace, then earrings, and this man even bought her a tiara, right? All because all these people just kept talking in his head. We also saw in episode 15 the the beginning of the relationship between Hong Rang and Dae Young. If you remember in episode 14, he saw she saw that the girl who worked with him kissed him on the cheek, but obviously it was by accident. So like when she was talking to Hanno about the whole situation, Hanno and Young Woo, like the drunk scene was hilarious. They were just fighting over who has the most pathetic boyfriend. Like that was funny. And then the the other scene when she was drunk, and he brought her home, and she called her mom and was like, I'm working late tonight, so I won't be coming home. And then she called her mom like right with her mom in the room, and Youngwoo was also in the room, and she's like, Youngwoo, I told my mom I'm working late. I'm staying with you tonight. And the mom is just looking at him, and she at first I thought she was gonna hit him, but then she like had this look on her face. She was like, okay. I mean, this episode had it all, right? So, back to Hong Rang and Daeyoung. Yeah, so, she did kind of tell him in the beginning of the episode that she's afraid because, she got a divorce and she didn't want the same thing to happen again. I mean, granted, both of them are coming into this relationship after a divorce, and they're both coming into the relationship with a child. So I think they could take whatever communication will definitely play a big role into, their relationship now. And also, the daughter already kind of gave him her blessing because she realized that, it was Hong Rang who brought her the macaroons. It was Hong Rang who, went bra shopping with her dad. And it was Hong Rang um, who got her dad to raise her allowance. So in a way, the girls kind of like likes her. So that's also going to make the relationship with her being around more, it's going to ease that transition. And also, her Hong Rang's son already likes Dae Young and has spent many times with him already. So I think now that we see their relationship forming, it's great and it could last if they keep working at it. We also saw in this episode that they successfully did the surgery for the little girl. Um, you know, Young Woo and Hanno were in the surgery room together and they were performing, as a team, which I kind of like the way they did that. Um, you know, which is something, even though they don't work together all the time, but in the future, they can join operations again at any point that they would like to. And I kind of like those two working together, Hano and Youngwoo, doing certain surgeries. But then I also like Youngwoo and Dae Young working together as well, and for their friendship to flourish, right? Um, Also, you're noticing that Hannah's clothing has, which I'm noticing, there's more color now. When she was in her slump, she only wore like beige, like full beige or gray, like those kind of colors. But now she's wearing those bright colors. She had on like the orange suit, and then she had on that light blue, well, it wasn't really light blue, it's more like a dark, like a middle shade blue, because she's worn light blue before when she was in her slump. So this time around, she's wearing more pop color. She was also wearing a pink suit this time around. So we're seeing her being bold. So her personality is kind of matching the colors that she's wearing. Or should I say her feelings are matching the colors that she's wearing. So right now she's getting out of her slump, right? And speaking of friendship, we also saw that those two idiots came back. Um, Only one of them fully apologized, because he came to his rooftop and apologized. The other one, I don't know if he really said I'm sorry, but he did say that he had a lot of stuff going on, like his girlfriend or whatever got pregnant, and his mom was also needing surgery during that time. So that's why he said he was acting like a jerk. And I'm like, I mean, I get it, but it's also like, ma, okay? Because at the end of the day, it was his money that helped you. It was, it was, it just shows you that it was Jungwoo's Jungwoo's money that made them even popular, right? Because even without Jungwoo, they couldn't be successful. Like when he went to go see them in their food stand, no one was coming to eat there. So they need Youngwoo to pretty much survive. I mean, I understand him going to the other boy because he said that he was the one who was sticking up for him. So, yeah, I understand him accepting the apology from him, the one who came to his rooftop to apologize. But the other one, no, because the other one was the one that fought with him that time, and he was the one who said all the messed up stuff. And he's also the one that apparently had a crush on Hanel during high school. Like, dude. So, but if that's what makes, Jungwoo happy, and apparently those two are a package deal, so I guess that's where that relationship is going. But the best part about episode 15 is the fact that, you know, he proposed at the end. And yeah, so we're pretty much excited for this wedding because I'm assuming episode 16 we are going to see a wedding happen. So I'm excited for that. I'm halfway through episode 16 and already so much has happened. So, he proposed, but she didn't really respond back to him. So he was waiting for her answer. But the night that she was going to go give him an answer, she got her boss offered her a position because they're opening a new office in the United States, and asked her if she wanted to go and open it. So, um, so when so that night she told him, that the opportunity was given to her, and he took it. I mean, he looked like he took it pretty well, but when he got home, he was like, anguished, because he was like, 6 months. I can't even do 3 months. How do you expect me to do 6 months? And then he was just laying on his bed like that. Don't go, don't go, don't go. And so it was hilarious, to see him act out that way. But the next day he was like, okay, well, wasn't sure if it was the next day, but the next time he saw her, he was like, okay, if you really want to go, I genuinely want you to, and so on. And we also find out that they took that opportunity away from her, because the other doctor decided she would go instead, something like that. But the opportunity was taken away from her. But they also did show you that she stood up for herself, and you know pretty much said, like, why'd you even offer it to me, or and then take it away? It doesn't make sense. Is it, and the person you're making go, is it because the chairman favors her? Is that why she's going instead? So took the offer back. Like, why? So I mean, I was happy to see that she was able to stand up for herself, because before she would have just blamed herself when this had nothing to do with her personally. It was just, office politics BS that made her not be able to have this opportunity. Um, in terms of where Daeyoung and Young Woo stands, they he was performing surgery on some woman, and the woman came in and started yelling at the both of them because they were together. She started yelling at them, saying that, oh, her eyes are not the same, blah blah blah. And like she was about to hit him, and like Hong Rang came out of nowhere and like started jump kick this woman. It was hilarious. And he kind of felt a little, he felt down because before he was the one telling Hong Rang that he was going to protect her, but she just came out of nowhere and she kind of protected him. So it was funny to see that interaction between the two of them. Another person we saw growth in here was Bada. He is actually, I'm guessing he's planning on taking over the uncle's restaurant, because that's the only thing he's actually found happiness in, and that's the only thing he's actually taken time to do. They were talking about how previously anything he tries, he normally drops out after 3 days, and this was the only thing, making the noodles was the only thing he actually took the time and patience to continue doing. So, there was a lot of growth with him there. And there's a lot of, and his mom is happy to see him, um, to see him do well with something. And he also used his first paycheck to take Hano out to eat, which I thought was cute. So you're actually seeing how much he's grown from episode 1, where he's asking her for money and he's asking his mom for money, to now, and it's him spending his money on her. Another part from the first half of episode 16 that I really liked was when, oh my gosh, I totally forgot about them. The two Hanel's aunts, the her father's sisters, they still bad mouthing her. I'm guessing they were supposed to be meeting her mom, and they're just sitting on the table bad mouthing her, saying, oh, she doesn't have a job, she's not married. But now that this girl has a job and she's about to marry a wealthy man, like, get out of here. um so the way she walked up to them, like in the fancy outfit, oh my gosh, that was priceless. Their mouths were like all the way down to the floor. I was like, oh my gosh, go ahead, girl, go ahead. Because I'm like, I'm like, there's no reason to even see them anymore, because, like, ugh, get out of here. And then we also saw that, in the first 45 minutes, well, at the 45-minute mark, she went back to her doctor, and her doctor was like talking to her about the growth that she went through. And he also made her retake the depression test. And, she even saw the way she was feeling before is not the same way she's feeling now. So he was able to tell her that, you're doing much better. There's no reason for you to come see me. And if you do, in fact, feel certain things, you have the ability now to take care of yourself. So there's no reason for you to come talk to me anymore. But I feel like, keep the obviously he's not going to be like, don't come see me ever again, but if she feels like she needs someone to talk to, obviously, you know we know his door is always open for her to come back if anything were to happen that she's unable to handle. But I am asking, like, does she still have to continue taking the pills that she's taking before? The rest of episode 16 was pretty much an update on how everyone is doing. So Bada was able to take his mom out for special, Instagram worthy coffee, and he bought her a purse because he was going to buy her a bag, but she thought it was too expensive, so she was like, a purse is all I need. And she they kind of had a moment where she was able to tell him, like, yes, I have two kids, but you both shine in your individual ways, because he always thought like his name was just a spin-off of um Hanel's name. So it was like, she was always the brightest and he was like the slacker. So his mom, explained to him where his name came from, and I thought was a beautiful, moment. And you're able to see like he was happy in this moment, because in the beginning the mom was always like hitting him because he's slacking and because of all the stuff. But this was beautiful to see how they're able to enjoy um you know something plain as coffee and dessert together, you know and then we also saw how Dae Young and Hong Rang were progressing in their relationship. So both kids met. I mean, they didn't really show you that in the series. They just showed you pictures of the four of them together. So obviously they met and they were able to hang out together. We also saw that Dae Young, I mean, I kind of wanted them to be together, but I kind of understand um he wanted to give Jung Woo a chance to start over on his own. So he was like, "Okay, today's your last day. You can go off on your own." Because he knew that Young Woo would never tell him that he wanted to leave, because Young Woo felt like he owed him because of the incident when he was, scared in the beginning. It kind of made the Young's um, practice go take a hit a little bit. So he wanted to stay there and help him. And also he lost the nurse. So that's why he wanted to stay. But he was like, go ahead, I'll manage. And, Young Woo, he went to start his own practice, and he decided to start off slow and be start from the bottom again, in a way, and take just a little bit of clients. He didn't want to take a lot of people, just to grow the morale with the few clients that he have and go from there. He also invited the doctor who set up all those cameras to come back and work with him, because he trusts him. And with all the cameras around, then in the future that will stop anybody from coming to cause him harm again. So it's good to see that in the end, the other doctor, because he didn't do anything wrong. He was just trying to help, you know, and he was trying to help himself because he's been wronged in the past. So it was kind of good to see that. In terms of um Jung Woo and all his other relationships, the only relationship we didn't see here in the end was the relationship with his parents. I would have thought, that they would have brought his parents in to do a reconciliation, maybe, but that would also mean that his parents would realize that they did something wrong. But since there was never any indication that the parents thought they did anything wrong, it would kind of be hard for this reconciliation to happen. So, in this sense, I'm not too mad at it that it didn't happen at all in episode 15 or 16. We also saw, his friends, hopefully, well, his quote friends, his old friends. They're still struggling in their skewer business, but you saw that the teacher went over there because Young Woo told him to. So I'm pretty sure Young Woo is gonna be the good friend and send some people over to them. So still, in the end, they can't succeed without him. But I sure hope, like, they learn from what they did and don't try to screw him over again. Also, we saw that the uncle, Hannah's uncle, apparently he had somebody he liked back in Busan, and the person just like came into his store. So you can kind of see he reconciled with his old love. So maybe something's going to happen there. And I'm happy that they gave him a happy ending, and the way they did it. And as for, him proposing, Young Woo proposing to Hanel, um, I thought they were going to have a wedding because the act I saw the actress post about it on her social media. So I thought there was going to be a wedding, but all they did was just show us pictures that they took, and we're just supposed to assume, that they got married. I mean, I'm not too mad at it. I feel like um I don't know. I don't know. I think it was nice. It was nice the way they ended it. At least, you know, they got married. And plus, even if they did fully get married, it would fully get married in the show, it would have been a small wedding anyway, I feel like. So, come to think of it, I'm kind of happy with the way they did it. So, all in all, the last two episodes, the closing end, I liked it because they kind of gave you an indication of how everybody was doing. They closed, they kind of closed out everyone's storyline, and they gave the main leads a happy ending. So stay tuned for my rating on the entire series. And this wraps up our journey on the Review Garden. Thank you for joining me today as we explored this drama. If you enjoyed this reaction and review, please remember to subscribe for more insightful videos. Don't forget to like this video and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your feedback helps our channel grow. As always, I'm truly grateful for your support and for joining me on this journey on the Review Garden. Until next time, and happy listening. Bye.